So many times we talk about who's the best, when they were the best, and not about why they were the best, what made them the best. And in today's series, we're here to cover that question. We're going to look over Akeem Olajuwon and Michael Jordan and look into college and see what made them the players they are now today. Were the flashes ever seen, or was this something they worked on in the NBA? That's the questions we're here to find out and discover. Michael Jordan in 1982 wasn't as polished as he was in later years, but could still rely on his patented mid-range jumper. Because of his insane hang time and release point, it was nearly impossible to guard. And paired with good off-ball movement, Jordan was able to get a lot of these looks per game. But what made Jordan elite was his insane athleticism. Take this play for example. His teammates get trapped and throw a bad pass that's nearly a turnover, but Jordan picks it off, splits two defenders, and gets the finish. Jordan is even more scary in transition when he has to worry less about his handle and can change angles while mid-air. This gives a better view of this, as he beats his defender into a race to the rim, cradling the ball mid-air for the finish. However, half-court creation was a bigger issue for Michael Jordan, as he tries to avoid contact like on this play here. And while his vision was good at times, hitting this wide-open jumper, he also threw turnovers, not noticing his teammate's defender coming from behind for the steal, which results in a foul. When it came to on-ball duties, Michael Jordan preferred to pass in these situations instead of creating for himself or others. This level of penetration we would see in the NBA developed much later in his collegiate career. And on defense, he provided good POA, nearly forcing a turnover here. But could also not be aware and get caught on screens, resulting on a score in this play. These types of traits could have been worked on and showed great defensive potential, but sometimes these were concerning. Like on this play with 4 defenders in the paint, he completely forgets his man. And it's wandering like this that was concerning at times. Wandering was not an issue for Akeem Olajuwon.
There's the steal. Olajuwon, amazing quickness.
Akeem had one of the best IQs of all time, using positioning, reflexes, and motor to disrupt the top offenses in the college basketball league. As you can see on this play here, Akeem is just constantly rotating and moving into the right positions to stop offensive players from getting easy looks at the rim. He consistently did it to the point that they had no choice but to try and do some fancy passes to get up a layup, but in the end, Akeem came down with a defensive rebound. His reach around the rim was so impactful, it makes it harder for drivers to even get a layup off, blocking Michael Jordan here. And even in the post, Akeem could still hold his ground, blocking this shot that became a questionable foul. Even out of the paint, Akeem could appear in an instant, going from the left wing to the rim in a matter of seconds. Still another questionable foul. These level of rotation strayed offenses from questioning Akeem's defensive prowess, and his elite motor made him even harder to contain. His offense was raw, showing flashes of what he could do in later years. A bigger concern was his fouling on both ends of the ball, forcing him to sit out parts of games more often than he should. Still, great rebounding, okay scoring, and elite defense, along with mid-tier passing, was still enough to make him one of the best prospects in the draft and one of the best prospects we've ever seen. This new Akeem had taken a major offensive leap, being a good off-ball scorer in general, mastering position to get easy buckets. Now able to seal off his postman for nice dunks, have a solid jumper, and consistently battle for positioning and score. Akeem was still showing defensive prowess as usual, but his offensive strides are what stood out to me, like on this play, spinning baseline for a reverse layup and the and one. A major weakness, however, was his free throws, as he only shot 52%. His rebounding was nice as well, constantly making sure his team is having possessions and not allowing second chance points. At this point, Akeem just became smarter, still disrupting shots at the rim, blocking Ewing and saving this possession, along with getting the rebound. This angle just shows how fast his reaction time is, swooping in and stuffing the shot. And while as great as his defense was, my only concern was that he could be a bit jumpy. Not as bad as earlier Akeem, but enough to give offensive players a bailout foul or an open layup. On this one, he jumps early yet again, getting his first foul of the game. With GOAT defense and even better scoring than before, it's safe to say Akeem was one of the best center prospects we'd ever seen. Michael Jordan had more lob plays made for him, and it was a common play in their offense, usually resulting in a dunk or a foul. Jordan was good at doing tip-ins on these, showing good offensive rebounding, helping to clean up second chance points. His handle to finish was strong, changing beats to getting buckets like this. Take this play for example. Drives, gets the offensive board, and draws the foul. And since Jordan hit free throws at a 75% clip in his last 2 years in college, it wasn't a vital option to use to contain him. Though his post-game needed work, Michael Jordan's off-ball shooting was knocked down, comfortably hitting shots from 22 feet. His jumper was not super fast but consistent, allowing him to move off ball and get these off with defenders near. Great shooter from that range. His passing had improved so much compared to previous years, pulling off this pass to Kendrick Perkins, but he was more subtle with important passes, noticing this kick out here in transition and hitting it as well. However, sometimes under pressure could lose the ball, leading to turnovers. Still, this kick-out passing he was showing was super valuable, as he was hitting wide open three-pointers like this one here. Solid to good passer now. On paint rotations, MJ was at the rim at the right time pretty often, rotating to their shot, or if need be, flying with his insane athleticism and save the day. This angle gives a better view as Jordan picks it off right at the peak of the layup. But sometimes could water off, forgetting a wide open man like this play here. On off-ball defense, Michael Jordan was very active, being tight to his man and snuffing this shot here. Was also active in passing lanes, affecting this pass. His defensive rebounding was nice as well, getting back multiple times a game to clear the board for the next offensive possession. In POA, Jordan was nice here, being able to keep up with guards much better now, denying this offensive player any room. Here, however, if got caught on his side, could sometimes be blown by guards. He still gambled quite a bit, forgetting his man here until it was too late. Still getting caught on screens at times as well. Still, his skill defensively was a strong plus, as these plays only happen a few times per game. With more plays like this, denying Mark Price any breathing room, forcing him to pass. His motor was great, going from POA to jump into contested shot. However, this gambling could result in fouls for himself, like on this play. And while his defense is risky, overall, Michael Jordan's impact was elite, placing him as a top prospect in the draft and one of the best